Hello and welcome to the big picture. With the change in government at the center, a familiar controversy has reared its head again. With governors appointed by the previous UPA government apparently coming under pressure to resign to make way for a set of new governors to be appointed by the new dispensation. Already one governor, B.L. Joshi of Uttar Pradesh, has resigned and his resignation has been accepted by the president. Meanwhile, there is intense debate over the need or otherwise of the other governors to resign, and if they don't, what will be the consequences? The issue which has cropped up after the change of every government almost since 1977 has however acquired a new dimension post-2010. The Supreme Court judgment on a petition filed by BP Singhal has changed the way this issue is looked at. Today we will look at all the dimensions of the controversy and how the delicate balance in a federal structure has to be maintained and whether the governors have to be replaced or not. To discuss this, I have with me Marwah, who has been the governor of Jharkhand, Manipur and Mizoram, Lieutenant General K.M. Seth, former governor of Tripura, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, Indira Jaisingh, senior advocate in the Supreme Court, will be on the phone line with us from Mumbai, and Surya Prakash, senior journalist. Welcome to all of you. Mr. Marwah, it's very interesting, this controversy has been cropping up every time, but when I was looking at your tenure as governor from the time you were appointed in Manipur and then you were shifted to Jharkhand and then you retired in Jharkhand.
That's right.
Right? And you were at the time when the governments had changed.
That's right.
From the NDA government to the UPA government.
I did about a year with this.
You continued to be the governor when the new UPA government came till December, which is about 6-8 months. Yeah. So now, how do you look at this entire controversy? What's happening now?
It's very unfortunate because as it is, the office of the governor is receiving a lot of bashing, and the prestige of the office is going down and down. And each time this controversy arises, it goes further. But the genesis of the problem is in the appointments.
Right.
When governments appoint people who not only, they may have political background, but those who are still politically active and use Raj Bhavans as a party office, or governors who are a personal loyalist of the ruling dispensation, then it becomes difficult for the new government to carry on with those people. Because here it's also important to realize what is the role of the governor. The role of the governor mainly is 4 main broad elements. Number one, that he should protect the constitution.
Right.
And there should be no breakdown. He should ensure that the state government functions according to the constitutional provisions.
Right.
Secondly, he should be a guide and philosopher to the state government because of his background. He's an eminent person and he can, give that advice when it is needed.
Thirdly, and he is expected to be neutral.
He is expected to be neutral. Absolutely. Otherwise, how can he give advice?
Exactly.
And thirdly, he should function as a link between the center and the state. Ours is a federal system. And fourthly, which is also very important, that when the constitution breaks down and the president proclamation for a president's rule in the state, he becomes the executive head, and then he provides the continuity between the previous government and this one without any hitch. It's a big thing that people don't feel the change, because the governor, and according to the constitution, is supposed to be kept informed about everything.
Right.
He can ask the state government for any information and the state government has to give it. So under these circumstances, if the new government feels that these people, I hope it is not a general order, but a few persons whom they feel are active politicians and they want them to go, then they should go.
You think they should go? But what about the judgment of the Supreme Court in 2010?
There are two views on it.
There are 2 views on it.
My own reading of the judgment doesn't say that the central government can't ask them to go, though some legal experts differ about it. But particularly, they have given circumstances under which...
And you're making a very clear distinction between people who have been politicians or
who continue to be active politicians. Not who have been politicians, I have nothing against them.
Yes.
There were very eminent people previously. You said from 1977 onwards. Before 1977, they were very eminent people.
Right.
And everybody had a lot of regard and respect for them. So this sort
Despite being
the
politicians.
founding fathers never thought of this sort of situation arising in our country.
So you think that if the governor is a politician appointed by a particular government, when a new government comes in, that politician should not remain there.
No, if the government asks him to go, he should go. Because so far, according to my knowledge, there has not been a single instance where he has been asked to go and he has not.
You were not asked to go when you.
No, I was not asked to go. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken 5 minutes to go.
Okay. Surya Prakash, you have heard Mr. Marwah.
Yes.
You heard with Mr. Marwah, one of the distinguished, governors we have had so far. And I think who fits into both the Sarkaria Commission's recommendations on what and who a governor should be like, and also the Supreme Court judgment of the recent judgment. But do you think that in the post 2010 Supreme Court judgment, anything has changed?
Yes, my view is, you see, if you read the Supreme Court judgment, I'll just read one sentence, the operative part of the conclusion.
Right.
It says, the president can remove the governor at any time without assigning any reason and without giving any opportunity to show cause. This is the first point.
Right.
Then comes the other points. What are the other points? That the removal should not be arbitrary, capricious, and so on. Okay. Then the other thing is, the court says you need not assign any reason. That is, you need not give the governor any reason why you are removing him or her. But there is a justiciable clause that is introduced in this judgment. That's how I read it.
Absolutely.
Where the court says that if an issue arises, then it may look at the reasons. But when you remove a governor, you not give any reason. But the important thing I'll tell you in the present context, you see, Mr. Marwah spoke of three important functions of the governor. The third one was the link between the center and the state. Now, this person who is the link between New Delhi and the state, he should be a person who enjoys the confidence of those who run the establishment in the union government, isn't it?
Absolutely. Prakash,
I think
Prakash, one second.
When there is a mandate,
Prakash, one second, please hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on to your thoughts. We have Indira Jaisingh on the phone line from Mumbai. Let me get Indira Jaisingh. How do you look at this whole controversy in the context of the 2010 Supreme Court judgment?
Exactly. Yes, as it did happen along with the former Attorney General, I was appearing in this matter.
Yes.
And this precise argument was made that they have to enjoy the confidence of the government at the center.
Right.
Now, this argument was rejected by the Supreme Court absolutely in no uncertain terms. And the ruling of the court is that you cannot remove a governor just because the party in power at the center and in the state are different.
Right.
Or that the person who is the governor doesn't belong to the party which is ruling at the center. So, in my opinion, this attempt to remove governors on this ground is wholly unconstitutional.
And can be
I'm really surprised for a government which comes to power on the issue of governance.
Right.
They're doing everything which goes contrary to good governance.
Indira,
for me,
one second, Indira Jaisingh. Sorry, one second. I just want to read what the Supreme Court has said on what you are mentioning. A governor cannot be removed on the ground that is out of sync with the policies and ideologies of the union government or the party in power at the center. Nor can he be removed on the ground that the union government has lost confidence in him. It follows, therefore, that change in government at center is not a ground for removal of governors holding office to make way for others favored by the new government. This you think is the most operative part of the judgment?
It is the only operative part of the judgment. There is nothing else in this judgment. And that is the reason why even the Attorney General arguing said that no, for arbitrary reasons, it is not possible to remove a governor. I mean, even the UPA government conceded that you cannot remove a governor for arbitrary reasons in court.
Okay.
And moreover, I think the stand that has been taken by the governors is correct. Namely, if the president wishes to remove them, there will have to be a reasoned order.
Right.
This doctrine of holding office at pleasure does not really now hold the field, and I'm afraid the president also will have to give reasons for removal, if at all he considers removal.
Okay. Okay, please stay on, Indira Jaisingh. I'll come back to you if you can please stay on. I'll be very glad if you can please stay on. I'll come back to you. Let me get Lieutenant General K.M. Seth. K.M. Seth has been a governor in the past. He has been in Tripura. He has been in Jharkhand, and interestingly, sorry, Chhattisgarh, and very interestingly, just like Mr. Marwah, who is here with me in the studio, he was also appointed during the NDA's previous regime in 2000. He was there from June 2000 to May 2003 in Tripura, and then he was transferred to Chhattisgarh, where he remained from June 2, 2003 to January 25th, 2007, which means that he was there when the UPA government came into power, and he continued to be the governor till his term ended. Or let's find out how it ended. Lieutenant General said, you know, your term, you continued to be the governor when the governments changed. You think that in the present controversy, do you hold the same views what Mr. Marwah is talking about, or how do you look at it?
Yeah, I do support what Mr. Marwah has said, and as far as I am concerned, when I was appointed, there was a government of the CPM at Tripura and the BJP NDA government at the center.
Right.
When I went to Chhattisgarh, the government there was of the Congress and the NDA government in the center.
Right.
Later on, it became a UPA government, and at the state it became BJP government.
Right.
In simple language, I continued enjoying the confidence of the party in the center, or the government in the center, as well as the government at the state.
Right.
This, in my view, entirely depends as to how nispaksh you are, how detached you are. You may be a politician, as Marwah was saying. Eminent people, eminent politicians have been governors. Once you have taken the oath of the governor, you cease to belong to a political party, and that should be the guiding light for every governor. As far as I heard the debate on the May 2010 judgment, in my view, the court has not forbidden or taken away the right of pleasure from the president.
Right.
He continues to enjoy that. The only difference is he may not assign any reason to the incumbent governor whom he wishes to withdraw the pleasure from.
Right.
But I feel he will have to ascribe in writing reasons on file for removing him, which can, if the situation arises, the court can summon and view it.
Right.
So arbitrary removal is certainly not forbidden, but restrictive clauses have been added into that.
Okay.
And I feel, as far as my term continuing is concerned, it also says 5-year term or till a new incumbent in office. So that's how it works. You continue the term till a new person comes. After 5 years, you vacate the office.
That's a very interesting point you made. I want to get Indira Jaisingh again before I go to Surya Prakash. Indira Jaisingh, this 5-year term, there is certain amount of lack of clarity in that. Some people argue that this 5-year term is sacrosanct, but is it sacrosanct?
See, it goes back again to the whole question of doctrine of pleasure, and I do agree with the previous speaker that the critical element is the independence of the person from political activity once appointed a governor.
Right.
For example, these people who have been appointed governors, they have resigned from their political parties before they take up the governorship of the state.
Right.
And as he said, if the issue is loss of confidence, well, there has to be reasons for loss of confidence. And even if the reasons exist on the file, there is the power of judicial review by a court of law. and those reasons can be reviewed.
Right.
So it doesn't matter whether the reasons are communicated to the person or not. The reasons have to exist.
Have to be.
And there have been cases in the past where decisions of the governor have been reviewed, decisions of the president have been reviewed, president's rule itself has been reviewed. Nothing is sacrosanct, nothing is beyond the scrutiny of our courts.
Okay.
I come back to the issue of good governance,
Right.
which is the slogan on the basis of which the current party at the center came to power. I do not consider it good governance to just come into power and sack your governors without even having had opportunity to see how they are performing or whether you do or don't have confidence in them. It's complete lack of good governance.
Okay. Please stay on, Indira Jaisingh. There are a couple of other points which I would like to come back to you. Let me get Surya Prakash. Surya Prakash, how would you respond to that? That, the Supreme Court judgment, you mentioned one part of it, the other part which Indira Jaisingh is mentioning, and also she's talking about the issue of good governance and the more important issue of, how do you distinguish between a governor and another governor?
Let me respond to each of these things. I must respectfully disagree with Ms. Jaisingh. Good governance, how is this Prime Minister and this government to deliver good governance on the back of persons appointed by the previous regime? It's simply not possible. There are categories and categories of governors. You have very eminent citizens on your panel who have been our governors, and we are very proud of them. How I wish we had such governors in all states. Sarkaria Commission and so many other commissions have said, don't appoint politicians as governors.
Right.
Has the Congress party or any of these parties listened to that? Now, hardcore congressmen or women as governors is one category. Persons like Mr. Marwah and the other panelists are of another category.
Lieutenant
I
General
will
Seth.
say that when you have persons of eminence, no government should touch them. No government should touch them. But when there is a Sheila Dikshit or somebody like that, or our Assam governor, I will say they should honorably, they should honorably quit.
But what
Why
happens?
get into this whole janjat of a fight in Supreme
Surya
Court and all? No, get the signal of May 16th, what it means, and honorably quit. You are politician.
Surya Prakash, what happened?
The other thing I'll tell you, Girish.
Ah.
One last point.
Yes.
One last point, Girish.
Yes.
You must enjoy the confidence of the person in 7 RCR, not the person in 10 Janpath. Please understand that, or any other address in Delhi. The governor must enjoy the confidence of the Prime Minister of the country.
Surya Prakash, what happens to the Supreme Court judgment? What happens to what the Supreme Court has said that a governor cannot be removed on the ground that he is out of sync with the policies and ideologies of the union government or the party in power at the center, nor can he be removed on the ground that the union government has lost confidence in him. So, that's one point. Second, you are saying...
That is the law of the land
That is the law of the land. Second thing is you are saying that the governor should enjoy the confidence of the Prime Minister and not the President. You are completely going against the constitutional spirit. Your argument is going completely against the constitutional
One second. Let me clarify. Governors are appointed on the advice of the Council of Ministers.
Yes.
Okay, governors are removed on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Okay, that is the de facto position. That's what I am stating. Now, the other thing is, you referred to the Supreme Court judgment. That's the law of the land. What is happening now? A little bit of a little nudge here, a little nudge there. Politician governors must get the signal and move out. That is my view.
Okay, that's
they should not hang on in office when the new government does not want them there.
Okay.
Politician governors are of a different category.
Okay.
And, Mr. Marwah and persons of that eminence. I want to make that point clear.
Absolutely. Indira Jaisingh.
And they are not removing all governors. There are just 5-6 of them they want to remove,
Indira Jaisingh, can this kind of categorization be made?
I'm sorry. I think the previous speaker lacks knowledge of constitutional law, and he cannot refer to 10 Janpath and 7 Racecourse Road. We are not discussing personalities, we are discussing systems, we are discussing constitutional law.
Right.
And I maintain that there can be no such categorization. I'm surprised that he says that if the present Prime Minister or Council of Ministers does not like a governor, then the governor can be removed. Liking a governor is not like liking a sari or liking a jacket or liking a coat. We are talking about running a country. And the country can only be run on systems, on norms, on the basis of the rule of law. So if they do not enjoy the confidence of the current Prime Minister, we must know the reasons why.
Okay.
And the Speaker should know that every decision of the Council of Ministers is subject to challenge and judicial review.
Absolutely.
On the ground of its reasonableness.
Absolutely.
So if he can convince us with reasons rather than with 7 and 10 Janpat and 7 Racecourse Road, I would be willing to listen to him.
Okay. Okay, that's a very, you made an interesting point. Yes, Mr. Marwah?
No, I'm not a constitutional expert.
One second,
Girish, I
Prakash,
have to
I'll come back to you.
respond to that.
I'll come back to you, Prakash.
I'm not a constitutional expert to challenge Indira Jaisingh's views. All I can say is quote Soli Sorabji's views.
Right.
Soli Sorabji is the one who headed.
Yeah, and she was also part of that.
She's also part.
Yes.
And according to him, and he has categorically stated that after a government nudges a governor that he should go, he shouldn't take time. And I think it will be a new law in our constitutional history if some of the governors who have been asked to go are requested to go, dig their heels and ask that they want a judicial review or a written order and things like that.
Okay.
Because somebody is bound to go to the court.
Somebody is bound to go to the court,
So
and
that
now
is
that,
not the
the
point.
court has very clearly laid down how it has to be gone
But I'm
about.
talking of the dignity of labor and
Dignity of
the
the office.
governor office, irrespective of the constitutional
Constitutional requirements,
court
whatever.
judgment. The governors must gracefully go.
Surya Prakash, yes. Before I go, I would like to go to Lieutenant General Seth.
Yeah.
Surya Prakash, yes.
Yeah,
No, Mr.
I'll
Very
come to
Marwah
you.
has said what
I'll
I
come
wanted
to-
to say. That is the position.
I'll come to- yes,
No,
Prakash.
hold on.
Yes.
The
Okay,
Supreme Court judgment, that's the law of the land.
Right.
Who I'm not questioning that at all. You please tell Ms. Jaisingh. What I'm saying is, what's wrong with a nudge? The Supreme Court didn't say don't nudge governors.
No,
to
Supreme
put in
Court-
their,
I think there's everything.
what is
Excuse
wrong
me.
with that? That has to
May
be
I-
done,
may I
and
just-
Yes.
governors, if they are
respond?
sensible, will
Yes,
accept that.
yes, Ms. Jaisingh, yes.
Please hear me.
Yes.
Please hear me out. I think there is everything wrong with a nudge. A nudge is extra constitutional. If they have anything to say about the governor, let them say it in writing. These governors have said we will not act on the basis of rumors. They have received nothing in writing from 7 Racecourse Road or from anywhere else. And my answer, therefore, is a nudge is unconstitutional. You have to be transparent in what you want to do. Do it if you want to do it.
And
But don't expect people to go on the basis of a nudge.
and give reasons for that. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But
In a nudge, there are no reasons.
okay, but Indira Jaisingh, one of the problems which has cropped up, this is ever since Sarkaria Commission, they appoint the whole, as Mr. Marwah right at the beginning said, the whole process of appointment of the kind of people as governors. Is that, is that an issue? Was that
Yeah,
an issue at
excuse
all?
me.
Was that an issue at
may
all
I-
in the? Yes.
May I just respond?
Yeah, please.
Have you seen the names floating around of the people who are going to supposedly replace these governors?
Right.
They are hardcore BJP politicians who did not find a place in the elections, who are being accommodated as governors. Is that what the Sarkaria Commission said? I maintain this is an issue of governance. And let's look at it that way. Will they answer? Will they tell us who are the people of eminence who are going to be accommodated as governors in these states? Let us not beat around the bush. Let's be honest and open about our debate.
Absolutely. I think you made a very, very important point. Yes, Mr. Marwah.
My reading of the Sarkaria Commission's recommendation, he has not barred politicians from
He has not.
being appointed. What he says, who have been active for recently, And if the new government appoints politicians who have been active recently, then they will be going against the.
This is what we have seen in the past several years or since 1977 is the same thing which is happening, that the ruling party politicians replace the politicians who had been there. Yeah,
I hope there is a change.
Lieutenant General,
please ask them, is that good governance?
Yeah, Surya Prakash, that's a very important question. Who are you replacing them with? Isn't that a very important question? Who are you replacing them with? Are you going to replace them with another set of politicians who have been in who are part of your party or your combination? And then how do you justify this?
Girish, I think you seem to forget who I am. I am a citizen of India and a journalist, and I am on your program.
Right.
I don't represent Government of India. I don't represent any political party, but I want consistency. Over the last 60 years, 50 years, you have one type of thing, and then suddenly you want another type of thing. I am totally opposed to that. Secondly, why do you want to second guess what this government will do, what kind of persons will be appointed?
Because
who knows?
the names
Let
are
us
already
hope,
in the
let
public
us hope
domain.
that persons of eminence, I want to see persons of eminence and excellent citizens of this country who have really done well in different fields to be appointed as governors. This should not be a sinecure for retired politicians.
No, what happens?
Jaisingh, where I stand on these
things. No,
things.
Surya Prakash. No, I am asking you as a journalist.
I don't want it to be a sinecure for retired politicians or failed politicians.
You don't want it to be.
That is not my position.
No, absolutely. You are not saying that, but the question is, isn't the question which Indira Jaisingh is raising a relevant question?
Yes, it is a relevant question. It is a relevant question. All of us citizens who are concerned about these things must press for appointment of, persons of eminence as governors.
And we've already got the name of Yashwant Sinha as one of the governors. Very many hardcore politicians who either did not contest elections or failed in the elections being appointed as governors.
Okay, Indira Jaisingh, I think we are speculating when it comes to that. We will have to wait and watch what they will, who will be the actual governor, who will be the people who will be actually replacing them if they have to be replaced.
I agree. I'm only referring to names which are in the public domain.
Okay, General Seth, you think it is possible in this kind of a political atmosphere which we are in for the kind of recommendations which Sarkaria made. Fortunately, people like you and people like Mr. Marwah, who is here with me in the studio, you all fit the bill. But you think in the present political circumstances, anything can change, that the politicians being kept out of such gubernatorial positions?
I don't see any difficulty in following the Sarkaria Commission recommendations, for one very important reason, that we are going through a transitional period in governance,
right? And
it is stated that we must institutionalize institutions instead of they being personalized. And here is an opportunity to go in and review and go look into the Sarkaria Commission once again, pick up the best part of it, select your governors as best as possible. It does not bar the politicians, except that they should not have been in recent past in active politics.
Okay, sir.
That aside, it does not bar the politicians, and I agree. There is a need to have the politicians as well as governors.
Okay.
But once we have institutionalized the selection process, the removal will automatically get resolved.
Okay, sir.
I hope the new government sets a better standard in appointing new governor.
Okay, sir. I think on that note, we need to end. We completely run out of time.
Girish, one last point.
Very quickly, Prakash, very quickly.
Yeah, one last point. The Congress party and persons who were in the earlier cabinet must remain faithful to the affidavit they filed before Supreme Court in this matter. and you know, with the judgment of which we got in May 2010.
Okay.
They
I
must
think- I think-
remain loyal to
I
that
think-
affidavit.
I think
what they said.
everybody needs to be loyal, every politician
You cannot
needs to
sing
be
a
loyal.
different tune today.
I think everybody needs to be loyal to their affidavits. In any case, the larger issue of, as Mr. Both two eminent people who have been governors, both Mr. Marwah and General Seth says, we may have to revisit the Sarkaria Commission and ensure that people of such eminence are appointed. But we'll wait and watch what will happen in this entire controversy. It has not come to an end. We will wait and watch what happens, and we'll probably further discuss what has happened. Thanks to all my guests, Indira Jaisingh from Mumbai, Lieutenant General Seth, Surya Prakash, and Mr. Ved Marwah. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue on the big picture, same time tomorrow.